Elon Musk is creating a vehicle that could be a game changer for space travel. Starship will be a completely reusable transport system capable of carrying up to 100 people on the red planet. In today's video, we're going to discuss everything you need to know about Elon Musk's SpaceX Starship. Stay tuned to find out. The SpaceX founder has often talked about his ambitions of creating cities on Mars. He thinks that the settlements would require large numbers of people in order to become self-sustaining. Well, this dream needs a vehicle that's up to the task, and Starship is a rocket and spacecraft combinations that could transport more than 100 people at a time to the red planet. The system is built to be reusable. Being totally reusable suggests that the principal hardware elements are not excluded in the sea or enabled to burn up, as it happens with some other launch systems, but they can return to the ground so that they can fly again. Quick reusability means that after reaching back from space, Starship can be refilled with propellant and be prepared to launch again in a quick period of time, just like an aircraft. This even reduces the cost of the entire business. The Starship will sit atop a rocket called Super Heavy. The collective systems will stand 120 meters tall and is also referred to as Starship. Let's talk about the spacecraft first. With its nose cone and landing fins, the stainless steel vehicle matches with the rocket ships from the golden age of science fiction. At the back of the 50-meter-long craft are 6 highly efficient Raptor engines, evolved over the course of a decade by SpaceX. The combustion takes place in stages, and the engine's design also reduces the amount of propellant that's blown. Towards the beginning of the vehicle, there are some propellant tanks. These spread liquid methane and liquid oxygens to the Raptors. Methane is the fuel when oxygen acts as an oxidizer, which is a chemical that makes the fuel burn. The combination is also labeled as methalox. The options of fuel is unique for rocket engines, but methane can develop plenty of thrust. It is also a safe choice in flight in light of Musk's designs for Mars. The SpaceX founder says that CH4 also could be synthesized for Martian subsurface water and from atmospheric carbon dioxide by using a chemical procedure recognized as the Sabatier reaction. Refueling Starship for the return journey to Earth using Martian resources would recommend a level of self-sufficiency, while making journeys more workable and cost-effective. If you are liking this content so far, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Now, let's continue. Towards the front of the spacecraft, which is sometimes cited as the upper stage, is a large payload compartment that will be able to haul large cargo or people to their own destinations in deep space. Now, let's turn to the rocket. Scaling around 70 meters long, Super Heavy will be recharged with 3,400 tons of cryogenic methalox. It will be powered by around 32 Raptor engines and should achieve more than 70 meganewtons of maximum thrust. It should be able to lift at least 100 tons of payload and maybe as much as 150 tons to low Earth orbit. This will also make Super Heavy more strong than the immense Saturn V launcher used on the Apollo moon missions in the 1960s and 70s. As it climbs from the launch pad, the combined Starship system will start to pitch over towards the planned orbit. When the upper stage separates in space, Super Heavy flips over while falling back towards Earth. As it comes down, Super Heavy will deploy steel structures called grid fins, designed like potato waffles, from the sides of the booster. This will also help in steering the rocket stage back towards its launch pad so it can be flown again. SpaceX has a driving plan to catch the falling booster by using its launch tower. This tower gives engineers and crew members access to the spacecraft and rocket while they are settling on the pad before launch. The pair of steel arms will extend out from the launch tower. The grid fins will then take the load as the spent booster will fall into these arms. The tower has been dubbed Mechazilla because of its image of a creature from the Godzilla films. Meanwhile, the Starship upper stage could be injected into a parking orbit after detachment, while allowing it to be refilled with propellant. To refuel, the spacecraft would dock or mate with another Starship which is already orbiting the Earth and acts entirely as a propellant depot. Starship will be used for long trips to Mars, which could take up to 9 months. Musk is looking to install around 40 cabins in the cargo area near the front of the upper stage. The payload basin would also host broad areas, storage space, a galley, and a shelter where people could huddle to be safe from solar storms, where the sun belches out toxic charged particles into space. Starships will also play a major role in NASA's Artemis program, which tries to solidify a long-term human presence on the moon. In April 2021, the US Space Agency also granted SpaceX with a $2.89 billion contract to create Starship into a lander, which is capable of sending astronauts to the lunar surface in this decade. What's your take on Tesla's Starship? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. With that being said, it's time to end our today's video. Press the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stuff. Peace.